So, good morning everyone. So, hope you understood the previous videos. So, let's start. Control and coordination related to plants. We all know that even plants, even though they cannot run and walk like you, but they also exhibit movement, isn't it? That's why they're living organisms, isn't it? Right? Even starting from germination, for example, germination of seed. The seed germinates, definitely root comes out and shoot comes out, right? Isn't it? That can also be considered as movement because of growth. Okay, so movement because of growth. Even elongation of branches, elongation of stem to form the formidable tree, all this is related to the movement, which in turn is related to the growth. Movement due to growth. So plants do move for growing, right? Isn't it? Isn't it? But there's another type of movement which plants exhibit. Many of you know, you might have played with touch me not plant, right? Touch me not, right? It's a very common thing, right? Even I also played in my childhood, right? So when you touch the touch me not plant or mimosa plant, touch me not plant, what happens? It shrinks, right? It shrinks its leaves. Isn't it? But that is also one type of movement. Okay, okay, fine. The same way, you all might have heard about insectivorous plants, right? The dangerous Venus flytrap, right? Fine. These actually insectivorous plants. Okay, these insectivorous plants also close their, isn't it, leaf? Isn't it, when they come in contact with an insect? Isn't it? So that is also one type of movement. Okay. Have you seen some climbers, plants with weak stem? Whenever they have a physical thing like post or a stick around nearby, what do they grow around it? Isn't it? Right? Now that is also one type of movement. Now that is also a movement due to growth. Okay. The example which I told about the Venus flytrap and the touch me not plant is movement due to tug of pressure. Now, what is tug of pressure? Of course, pressure due to the pressure of water. What happens basically? The water is withdrawn from that place. That's why the leaves shrink. Okay, so we'll discuss that in detail. So two types of movements are there which plants do. Okay, number one, movement due to growth. Number two, movement due to tug of pressure. Okay, so we will discuss that same thing in the coming nights. One small thing which I want to add here is the movement due to tugger pressure, that is shrinking of the leaves. Even during the daytime, you have seen, no, some leaves, no, they actually open up to receive sunlight. Nighttime, no, actually they shrink a little bit, isn't it? No, that is also a movement. Movement due to the tugger pressure. What happens basically? Water is withdrawn from leaves. That's what shrinks. We will discuss that. Okay, so that is movement due to tugger pressure. Okay, fine. And the second movement which I told is the movement due to the growth. Okay. Now, movement due to the tug of pressure is reversible. When the daytime comes on, again water will pump back to the leaf and leaf will expand. It's a reversible process. But movement due to growth is irreversible. Once the plant has grown completely, it cannot grow back. Grow back. You cannot grow back. You can degrow back to that stage, right? So, movement due to growth is irreversible, and movement due to a tug of pressure is reversible. Okay, so as I told you, there are two types of movement happening in plants. Movement due to growth. Movement due to tug of pressure. What is tug of pressure? Lower class 9th standard year study. Tug of pressure is nothing but pressure due to the water on the plasma membrane. Okay, you remember plasmolysis, right? Placid or hypertonic isotonic solution, etc. The cell basically swallows up or shrinks due to water. Same thing. Okay, not much in detail. Just to understand, movement due to tug of pressure is the second type of movement. Movement due to growth is the first type. Okay, these are the two major types of movement happening in plants. Okay, no, they don't run and walk like you, but these are the limited movement which they do. Okay, that's why they are considered as living organisms. Remember previous chapter life processes, all 7 basic life processes a living organism must do, then only it can be considered as living organism, right? Here, plants. One of the life process is movement, right? So they also do movement. Okay, now movement due to growth, you already know, right? Due to cell division, right? Cell divide. Again, in 9th standard tissue chapter, we studied about how the cell, meristematic cell divide in the plants, right? And due to that apical meristematic cells, what happened? Tissue, the plant grows up as well as root, right? So cell division, when more and new cells are formed, plants grow. Cell enlargement, a single cell becomes big in size, right? That also causes growth, right? Big size increase. Now it is a irreversible process, it cannot be brought back. Once it grows, once it has divided, it cannot be fused again to the same form the mother cell. No, it cannot be. So it's an irreversible process. Now, movement due to cargo pressure. I told you that's not plant, right? It shrinks. And all the plants, basically, daytime they actually opens up the leaf, and nighttime actually the leaf closes, shrinks a little bit, right? Isn't it? Have you noticed that? That is due to presence and absence of water. If water is there, it will look young, it will look very, very strong. Okay. When water is not there, it will shrink. Understood. So that is due to tug pressure. So movement due to tug pressure. The test me not. Oh, have you ever wondered why the test me not is doing that? Why it's not? You think. Take 10 seconds and think about it. Why the test me not plan is actually shrinking its leaves for fun, no? To entertain you, no? Why? See, that's an adaptation. Okay, to protect itself from herbivorous animals. So when herbivores actually they touch the plant, that time it induces, it coordinates that. What we are going to discuss how it coordinates itself and gives that command close. That what is chapter basically. So when the herbivorous animal comes in contact with the touch-me-not plant, what happens? It closes. Why it closes out? When it closes, after closing, the herbivorous plant loses the interest to eat it. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look like leaf itself. Okay, that psychology works there. So the plant, herbivorous plant, loses interest in eating that plant and it moves on. It might eat 1 or 2 leaves. That's it. And it will move. Basically, the touch-me-not plant is able to protect itself by doing this. The same way, the touch-me-not plant also shrinks due to the seismic, that's your wind. If a heavy wind flow blows over the touch-me-not plant, what happens? It shrinks again. And that time, why it's doing that? Because it needs to protect itself. If its leaf is open and the wind is blowing, definitely will damage itself, right? So during that time, when the wind is blowing very fast, it closes so that it protects itself from getting damaged. Okay, adaptation. So coming back here, these two processes understood. Why I'm telling this because these two type of movements you should understand. Then only you will understand the previous videos. Okay, hope you understood both these two. Now this particular movement due to tug of pressure is reversible. Definitely, what water goes back, again the leaf will be opened up. Increase and decrease in the size of the cell due to water. What is there? Cell will be big in size. What is not there? Cell will shrink. That's what is happening. Right. Okay. There are certain terms which you should understand, which is being repeated many times in the textbook. So, without understanding these terms, you will not be able to understand. So now you know that plants also grow, right? Plants also undergo certain kind of movement. Movement due to growth and movement due to the tug pressure. Fine. That is the need for growth, need for the movement. Okay. Now there are different types of movement based on the stimulus. Okay. Based on the stimulus, whether it is related to the stimulus direction. Means there are certain types of movement which is related to the direction of the stimulus. I know you didn't understand this. Please focus here. Will understand. Tropic movement. Now, tropic movement is a type of movement which plants undergo, okay, which is related to the direction. See here. The directional movement in response to external stimulus. You know that plants grow towards light, isn't it? The light is the stimulus there, and plants grow towards the light, right? So there's a direction, there's a relation in terms of direction towards. Shoot at the same time grows away from the light, isn't it? It not simply grows down; it grows away from the plant, away from the light. So light as an external stimulus is related to the plants in terms of direction. So plants always grow towards a plant, the shoot part always grows towards the light. Direction relation, right? The same way shoot grows away from the light. So towards and away is nothing but direction, right? So tropic movement is basically nothing but related to the direction of the stimulus or towards or away from the stimulus. If a plant grows towards the stimulus, then it's called positive tropic movement. Okay, and if the plant grows away from the stimulus, then it's called negative tropic movement. So tell me, shoot part, that is the plant part, the aerial part of the plant, goes towards the light. So it's a positive tropic movement or negative tropic movement. Positive tropic movement, right? So plant grows towards the light. Positive, towards means positive, away means negative. So positive tropic movement. Shoot, root at the same time, root, which is the under part, moves away from the light. So it's a negative tropic movement. So something, if the growth is towards the stimulus, positive. If the growth is away from the stimulus, negative. Okay. So tropic movement is related to direction. Okay. Number one, there are different types of tropic movements. Number one, phototropism. Name itself tells you. Photo means light. So here, light is the stimulus. Stimulus is the light. Shoot always goes towards the shoot always goes towards the light. Positive phototropism. And root always grow away from the light, so negative phototropism. So shoot shows positive phototropism. Root shows negative phototropism. Now, after this class, I'll be always talking about positive tropism and negative phototropism. You should understand what I mean by that. Positive tropism means towards, and negative tropism means away from the stimulus. So here, stimulus is light. So towards the light, positive tropism. Which part of the plant shows that? Shoot part. Root part shows negative phototropism. Understood? Gravitotropism. Here, gravity is the stimulus. Stimulus is gravity. See, actually plants grow, shoot part of the plant grows away from the gravity. Okay, and the root part grows towards the gravity. Okay, fine, clear. So that is gravitotropism. The thigmotropism. The thigmo means nothing but touch. See, the creepers, right? The creepers actually what they do? They actually come in contact with a solid surface. What happens? They start to grow around it, taking its support because that's weak stem, isn't it? Now this is what is nothing but thigmotropism. Okay, so that is touch. So wherever it is in touch with the solid surface, there what happens? Cell growth stops. See, for example, this is the climber part. This is the part which is in contact with the post or any wood, a stick. So this part here, cell growth nearly stops. And this part, which is away from the solid part, here growth continues. So what happens? Here growth continues, here growth does not happen much. So this part elongates, so bending happens. Okay, I will teach you on what is. That's why it wraps around the solid surface. So that is nothing but thigmotropism. Here stimulus is nothing but touch. Okay. Chemotropism. Now chemotropism means here stimulus is chemicals. See the pollen grains, for example. When the pollen grains falls on the the stigma of the female flower, what happens? The pollen tube enlarges, right? Isn't it? That means the pollen tube moves towards the ovule. So there's attraction is chemically mediated. So here, this particular tropism is chemotropism, where stimulus is chemical. Okay. Now, hydrotropism, definitely hydro is water. Here, hydrotropism means stimulus is water. See, shoot always grows in search of water. So shoot shows positive hydrotropism. Okay, so these are the examples of some chopping movements. Now there's another movement called nastic movement. Nastic movement is not related to the direction. That's the only difference. Chopping movement is related to direction. Nastic movement is not related to direction. Nastic movements, I told you, the touch me not plant. It will shrink. The target is the same thing. It shrink, right? There, it is not related to direction, right? Towards the stimulus or away from the stimulus. No, it's not related. Venus flight up, same thing. These types of movements are called nastic movements. So tropic movement and nastic movement. Hope you understood. So phototropism. So we will discuss phototropism. It's very easy to understand. Just take your time, relax, and listen. Okay. The phototropism, as you know by the name, the stimulus is light. So it's growth of plant towards and away from the light, basically. Okay, phototropism. Fine. So I'm going to show you one picture. Okay. In that picture you will understand phototropism. So here you can see a plant. Now this is the light here, sunlight. Okay. Now sunlight is a stimulus, light is a stimulus, and this is a plant. Yeah, this is the plant. Okay. Now here the plant is able to grow upright, nearly 90 degrees, isn't it? Now here, now auxin, AUXIN, auxin is an hormone, plant hormone responsible for the plant growth. Here what happens, auxin is distributed evenly in all the places, that's why it grow up 90 degrees. Okay. Now here the second scenario you see, light is slanted. And because of this what happens, auxin actually always get deposited in the shady area, the area which does not receive much light. Okay, so here light is coming from this side, isn't it? Light is coming from that side. This side light is coming from this side. Definitely the shady area is this area here, isn't it? This is the area of shady area. So auxin plant hormones gets deposited in the shady area. Now auxin always promotes cell growth, cell division. So what happens here? Cell elongation. So what happens here? Auxin makes these cells to elongate. When the cells elongate, what happens? They bend because the size of the cell is more here. Here nothing has happened. This side grows slowly. This side grows faster. And because of that, what happened? The plant bend towards the light. Positive phototropism. Exactly opposite happens in root. Okay, again I will tell you, show you. Here, when the light is 90 degree, coming in 90 degree, the plant grows straight. Because the auxin, a plant hormone responsible for the plant growth, gets deposited evenly. The second scenario here, light is coming slanted in one direction. So what happens? Auxin always gets deposited in the shady area. This side is shady area. So auxin gets deposited here. Because of that, what happens? The cell elongates and divides this side. So because of that, it bends. Okay, because here cell growth is more, means no more number of cells will be there. Definitely, there's a difference between this side and this side. So definitely it will be bended towards the light. Okay, fine. Hope you understood this particular thing. I will show you another picture by which you will understand much more in detail. 1 second. Yes, here, as you can see here in the first scenario here, in this particular picture here, the sunlight is coming 90 degree angle. Okay, like this, isn't it? So here, see, oxy molecules are getting deposited evenly. The oxy molecules are getting deposited evenly. The plant grows straight. Okay, positive phototropism. The second scenario here, the sunlight is again slanted, and auxin always gets deposited in the shady area, not in the exposed area where to sunlight, in the shady area. So auxins are the plant hormones which is responsible for cell elongation. So here auxin gets deposited in the shady area. So what happens when the auxin gets deposited in the shady area? The size of the cell increases. The size of the cell compared to this side is small. See, cell elongation happens basically, and because the cell elongates, the plant bends towards the light. Understood? So that is nothing but phototropism. This is how phototropism is done. Okay. Hope this particular slide was easy to understand the phototropism. Now we will discuss gravitotropism. Now gravitotropism, again you know that is what is the stimulus there. Gravitotropism, gravity is the stimulus. Now the gravitotropism, okay, another name is there for gravitotropism. It's geotropism. Both are same. Geotropism and gravitotropism both are same. So I will share one more picture to make you understand what actually is geotropism or gravitotropism. One second. So here, hope you can see this picture. Here, see this shoot part. Definitely this is the shoot part, right? And this shoot part here is growing away from the gravity, isn't it? Gravity is of course towards downwards. Gravity is always towards the ground, towards the center of the earth, right? So here, see the plant is actually going away from the gravity or moving away from the gravity, growing upwards. Shoot is growing upwards. So shoot shows negative geotropism or negative gravitotropism. At the same time here, see the root. Root shows positive geotropism. Why? Because it grows towards the gravity. Okay, or positive gravitotropism. Okay. Hope you understood geotropism or gravitotropism. Now we'll discuss hydrotropism. Again, hydrotropism, what is the stimulus? Water. Okay, now I'll share my screen again. I'll show you on picture. Here. So here in this picture you can see this particular plant here, okay, and this plant is a normal plant, okay, living happily. Fine. Here, after sometimes water is being observed. So what happens? See the behavior of the root. The root starts to grow towards the water. Root starts to grow towards the water. So roots shows positive hydrotropism. Okay, why? Because it's bending towards the stimulus. Okay, hope this one is understood. Now we'll discuss about the thigmotropism. Now the background image itself, my background image is also one type of thigmotropism. But I will show another picture. 1 second. Yeah. So here you can see the leaf, leaf weak stem actually comes in contact with a solid surface. So what is the solid surface here? This particular iron rod here is the solid surface. Okay, so the plant comes here and comes in contact with the solid surface. When the plant comes in contact with the solid surface, what happens actually here? See here, what happens actually here? The stem actually starts to wrap around the solid surface. Okay, stem actually starts to wrap around the solid surface. Fine. Now, why it happens? I told you again, same thing happens, this auxin deposit. But here what happens actually, whichever side is in contact with the solid surface grows slowly. And whichever side is not in contact with the solid surface grows faster. So that's why it bends. Again, like phototropism, it bends and wrap around the solid surface. and takes the support of the solid surface. So the stem, so some plant stems show positive thigmotropism. Why? Because it bends towards the stimulus. What is stimulus? Solid surface. It bends towards the stimulus, right? It moves towards the stimulus basically. It's a positive thigmotropism shown by the stems. Now, negative thigmotropism is shown by roots. How? See, when the roots grow, whenever the roots comes in contact with any solid rocks, it actually grows away from the solid rock. Okay, so that is an example for negative thigmotropism. Hope you understood. Now we will discuss about your last topic movement, that is chemotropism. Now chemotropism again what is the stimulus here? Chemicals. Okay, let me share my screen and show you one picture. See here. Definitely this is the female part of the flower. See here, the pollen tube, the pollen grain, actually pollen grain falls on the stigma. Okay, and the pollen tube elongates. See, it elongates where? Towards the ovule. Okay, now so that is a chemotropism. Now here the pollen grain showing the positive chemotropism. Okay, so this is a type of chemotropism. Very easy to understand, right? So that's what is about topic movements. Number one, phototropism, stimulus light, positive phototropism, negative phototropism. Number two, gravitotropism or geotropism. Again, gravity is stimulus. Number three, hydrotropism. Stimulus is water. Then what is that? What else? Chemotropism. Then we discussed about thigmotropism. That is touch. Stimulus is touch. Example, that climbers. Now we will discuss some nastic movement. The movement which is not related to the direction of the stimulus. Okay, so again I will share my screen. 1 second. Here, this is the picture of Venus flytrap. Now, don't think that Venus flytrap is so big which can consume a human. No. Okay, Venus flytraps are very small plants which actually consume insects, small spiders and houseflies, etc. Okay. Here, the Venus flytrap. The Venus flytrap here in this particular here, you can see it's already closed. Here you can see it's already opened. Okay, and here you can show you one insect is also there. Already one housefly is there. Now what happens in the Venus flytrap? When any insect gets inside the Venus flytrap, it has a lot of tiny hairs. Okay, when this insect definitely when the insect enters the Venus flytrap, it moves rapidly here and there. When it moves rapidly here and there, this hair-like structure detects it. Due to the rapid movement and continuous movement of the housefly or insect inside the Venus flytrap, what happens? Tugger pressure, movement due to tugger pressure happens. That is, water is withdrawn from here. When water is withdrawn from the specialized cells, I will discuss about that cell here. Wait, when water is withdrawn, basically what happens? The Venus flytrap closes like this. When it closes, that's it. The insect is trapped, or the housefly is trapped, and it gets digested. One information here: insectivorous plants are not carnivorous plants. Insectivorous plants depend on that is sunlight. They are photosynthetic. The primary source of energy is light only. They depend on insects only to get nutrient, like nitrogen, etc. Because the soil where they live lack nutrients like nitrogen and all. Okay, so they digest insects to get nitrogen, not glucose or energy. Hope you understood this. So now we will discuss another type of nastic movement. And I will show you actually, I wanted to teach you that how actually the Tessmi-knot plant shrinks. Okay, to the tug. Of course, you know now, because of tugger pressure, that is water is withdrawn from there. And because of that only it shrinks. Same way, the leaves in the night time, it basically shrinks a little bit due to the withdrawal of water from that area. Right? Now all this constant nastic movement, because it does not is not related to the direction of the stimulus. That's why it's called nesting movement, not dropping movement. Now I will show you my picture. I will show you one picture, and I will show you one example for this nesting movement. Yeah. Now here we have our touch-me-not plant. The touch-me-not plant here, you can see this is the enlarged part or a magnified part of the leaf. Okay. Now this is one leaflet and this is another leaflet. Now this leaflet is of course connected to the vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem. Now here, the junction between the xylem and phloem, you have a specialized cell called Pulvinus. Okay, this Pulvinus is a specialized cell present between the leaflet and the vascular tissue. Now, Pulvinus is the principal cell there which controls the movement of water. What happens here? Whenever any physical contact happens, that is, if say for example, if I touched here, if I touch this leaf, what happens? There's some control coordination happening. Signal is given to Pulvinus cells. Okay. Now we will discuss how that neural signal is, or the electrical signal is sent. Okay. Now, because when someone touches here or due to any physical contact, a signal is sent to the specialized cells called Pulvinus cells. So what happens? The Pulvinus cells actually withdraw water. See, this side actually withdraw water. Because of that, the leaflet shrink towards the center. So the principal cell responsible here is Pulvinus. Now Pulvinus withdraws water, so the leaves shrink. When the Pulvinus comes back to the normal state, the leaves opens up. Okay, so that's what's happened. What happens in the nesting movement in the touch-me-not plant or the mimosa plant. Okay, hope you understood this one also. Okay, again, it's very easy to understand. Just understand this in 10th standard level. No need to remember Pulvinus name also. Just understand this. There are certain specialized cells present in the leaf, which actually controls the movement of water. Whenever any physical contact comes in contact with the leaf, a signal is sent to the Pulvinus, by which Pulvinus actually shrinks. When Pulvinus shrinks, it's actually a point of attachment with the leaf stalk. So when the Pulvinus shrink, the leaflet actually bends towards the center. Okay, and when the normalcy comes, again the Pulvinus gets filled with water, so it opens up. That's it, easy. Okay, fine. Okay, now you understood that because of some physical contact, what happens? A signal is sent, right? A signal is sent to a specialized region called Pulvinus and the leaf stalk, right? Which commands it to shrink or to withdraw water from that its own cell, so the leaf stalk shrink. Now that means there are certain kind of signal transduction or you can say a form of signals being sent there, right? So this thing, because of this particular statement, it arises a question: does they have nervous system? No, plants do not have nervous tissue. Nor they have any specialized cells like neurons. Only animals have neurons and nervous tissue or nervous system as such. Plants do not have neurons nor nervous tissue. So how does the signal is sent? Actually, there are certain kind of electrical signal being transduced inside the plant system, but it's not done by the neural cell. It is done by phloem sieve tubes. Okay, phloem sieve tubes actually perform the function of neurons in the plants. Okay, and the book, in the NCERT textbook, they are simply just told that they have just mentioned about some specialized cells present like that, but they are not named it, nor they have claimed it. So just note on this: phloem sieve tubes are the cells or the tissue responsible for the communication between the cells in the plant system. Phloem sieve tubes. Okay. Now one more thing which I want to discuss here. Regarding animals as well as plants. So in animals also, the electrical signal, of course, very fast and all, but it cannot reach everywhere in your body because there's certain limitation to the neurons also, right? Neurons are not present actually every point of the cell, right? Isn't it? It's not possible. So how does the cell communicate in the remaining area? Right? Cell communicates the remaining area by specialized chemicals, I told you, know, right? Neurotransmitters, as well as other specialized chemicals called hormones. So we'll discuss in the next video related to the chemical signal and drawbacks of the electrical transduction, etc. So in this video, you understood how the plants actually communicate, how plants grow towards the stimulus or away from the stimulus, what are the different types of movement which plants undergo, what are the different types of movement related to the stimulus direction, that is tropic as well as nastic. Okay, why the test may not shrinks itself when it comes in contact with any physical contact or even your wind. Okay, hope you understood this video. This is a little bit lengthy video, I know that, and a lot of new information also you're getting. Please watch this video again and again so that you will understand. Pause it, note it down, again replay the video. Okay, hope you all are doing well. Be happy, stay happy. Anurag signing out.